Hello everyone, welcome to my DIY. Today we're going to be making what you're seeing here, and that is a paper plate and plastic utensils caddy. So if you want to learn how to make one of these, stick around. Alright, so let's talk about the supplies you're going to need to make one of these caddies. First of all, you're going to need 10 boxes of the tumbling tower game from Dollar Tree. The ones I used are this one that's got the natural and dark wood in it. But they also have these that is just the natural wood. So you can use whichever one you like. You can use the natural wood and paint it or leave it that way. But I'm going to use the dark and natural wood and just leave it this way because I like the effect that it gives with the striping.
Pattern.
You're going to need 10 boxes of those. You're going to need either wood glue or I use this Aleene's tacky glue. It works just as good as the wood glue. It really holds up with these. So I've just been using it. You're also going to need, for the decorations, the nautical rope. I got that at the Dollar Tree. You'll need some ribbon of your choice. This one I got at the Dollar Tree. It's the burlap ribbon. And then I also got at the Dollar Tree this jute string. We're going to be using that to make the little flower on the front. And a button of your choice. And I'll just use that for the decoration on my caddy with the flower. So you can just use any type of button or little decoration, or you don't have to put one at all, but I like to put one on there. It just decorates it. Also, you're going to need your glue gun, glue sticks, and I like to use a ruler to line up the rows with these woods while I'm gluing them. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you, we're going to make rows like this. That's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to make one of these rows with you and show you what I mean. I'm going to glue a row of 9. So I'm going to start with this color and alternate. I'm just going to put a little strip of glue like that on each block and just alternate from light to dark wood if this is the pattern that you want to do. You could do it all one color, you could paint it, you can, you know, however you like to do it. It's all up to you.
And you can do it colorful, like a rainbow.
True.
That'd be pretty.
So, like I said, I'm just going to do this row of 9. There we go. So, and then after I get the glue on, what I like to do is take my ruler, line them up, and push them together gently. I've learned that pushing them too hard, the glue squirts out everywhere. So you just want to give it a little bit of pressure to push them together, and then I just push it up against the ruler just to give it a straight line. So now what you need to complete this project is you're going to need 30 rows of this 9. So you'll want to go ahead and make those, like I said, 30 of the 9. Then you're also going to need 6 rows of 15. Now on my rows of 15, I started with the dark wood and ended with the dark wood. But that's because when you put this together, this is going to be the bottom of your piece. Okay, so get your 30 rows of the 9 put together. And what we're going to do now is we're going to start putting together the base. Like I said, you're going to need 6 rows of 15 for your base for the bottom. Shake the tape, please. Okay, so sorry if there's any shaking of the camera going on.
This is our first video.
This is my first DIY video. I hope you guys stick around for more of those, and if you like what you see, hit like and be sure to subscribe to my channel. So now we're going to build the base, the bottom. So what we're going to do is, now in between doing this, you really want to let this glue dry. You want to let it dry for a few hours before you continue. These have been drying. These are completely dry. I did these yesterday to let them dry completely. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead take that thin strip of glue all the way down these rows to build the bottom base of the caddy. Then after we do the bottom, we're going to go start building the walls, and I'm going to show you what we're talking about there.
And you can use wood glue or Alien's tacky glue.
Ever since I've been working on these wood projects, I've been using this Alien's tacky glue, and I've had no problem with this glue at all. But if you prefer to use wood glue, you can do that. I have made shelves with these and everything, and it does stay together.
We've made a lot of DIYs off camera.
Yeah, off camera. This is my first DIY recording and sharing with you guys, but I have been making a lot of projects using this tumbling tower wood. I've made shelves for Ray Dunn displays. I've made a wishing well with a little fairy and stuff on it.
I made one of those too.
Yeah, Matthew has made one. Matthew is my son. He's 10. He's made one of the wishing wells as well. We've both made one of those. And I've made some candle stands and a cross. There are different things I've made. And speaking of which, I do want to give a shout out to one of the YouTubers I've been watching to learn how to do some of these DIYs, and that is Kelly over at Kelly Barlow Creations. The cross that I have made and the candle holders, those are her creations. So those are the first ones that I made, and then I just started creating different things with these wooden blocks.
So creative.
These plate and utensil holders, they can be used at picnics or parties, gatherings, weddings.
Or just
I just use mine in my kitchen because we use a lot of paper plates and plastic utensils instead of washing a lot of dishes.
Because we have 3 people in the house and 1 dog.
So it saves on a lot of dishwashing if you like to use paper plates. It's just a cute little thing you can sit on your kitchen counter to hold those things. So like you're seeing here, I'm just giving this a little pressure while the glue sets up. That's going to build our bottom. I'm just holding a little pressure for a few minutes just to make sure it's bonded well. Now something else I like to do is go in. You're going to see gaps because some of these wood pieces are a little shorter than the other ones. So I see little gaps here and there.
Just gaps.
What I like to do is just go in and fill in with a little bit of glue.
To make it look better, prettier.
If there's bigger gaps. And some of these are like a little shorter than others. So what I like to do is just fill that in and then take a paper towel and wipe off any excess glue that might be there. Alright, so we've got our bottom together. Get a little bit more glue right here. I see some pieces that have a lot of gaps right there.
Can you move that? And then you just use a paper towel, or you can use your fingers, because this glue does not stick to your fingers.
Yeah, since it's craft glue, it washes off easily. That's really no big deal. Got a few more little cracks I want to fill in, and then we're going to go in and start building our walls.
Which separates the plates and silverware. There's a lot of excess glue.
Oops.
Whoops. It's gonna take a little bit more to.
No, it's just because it's wet. It'll move around if you're not careful there. It'll move around.
Be
Just
careful.
wipe a little too hard.
Be careful. Like, be aware of that.
Okay, and like I said, I like to take this ruler and just kind of line up one end.
It actually helps a lot.
All right, so here is our base. Now we're going to start building the walls. Move this one, it's still wet,
If it gets,
out of the way.
if the glue gets on your table, you can take a sponge and soap and wash it off.
All right, so there's the base. While it's wet, I'm not going to move it around too much so that it doesn't separate like it did a second ago when I was trying to wipe off that excess glue. All right, so to start building your walls, you're going to need 3 walls of 6 of these rows put together. That's going to serve as the outside walls and the inside wall. So you're going to need 3 walls of 6 put together. So I'm going to work on that. And what I like to do is kind of move these around because, like I said, these pieces are uneven. I just kind of like to move them around until they look like they're fitting together really good.
These wooden pieces are not perfect. Some of them have printings, digits and stuff. But you don't see it, you just cover it, which we're going to do. Just putting this together.
Yeah, it just takes a little time. You just want to take a little time and try to fit it together as good as you can.
Just take your time.
All right, so this is probably going to be my inside wall since there was a lot of little printings on this one. And you'll see these little printings. It's got the numbers and the company that
Yeah,
cut those up. And you just
I mentioned that.
want to turn them to where they're going to be not seen on the inside or the...
Yeah, because you don't really want to see digits and stuff.
As long as it's not on the outside of your caddy, you're not going to see it. It's not going to be that big of a deal. If you're going to paint your piece, of course, you're obviously not going to see it when it's done.
Yeah, and the printings are going to be on the inside, covered by silverware and plates. So that's why it doesn't really matter. And plus, if you paint it, you're not going to see it too.
Alright, I'm going to line this wall up. And apply the pressure, get it stuck together, and then fill in the gaps.
And wipe the excess glue off.
Here's where I'm going to go in and fill in the gaps that I'm seeing.
We made this glue gun stand too. That's another thing we made.
Oh, yeah, and that one, I didn't come up with the design for that. That was, like I said, Kelly Barlow Creations. I did create one of the glue stands, the glue gun stands that she created, and that turned out really good with these. So you guys should really check that out.
Yeah, it's painted pink and white. Like, if you don't believe us, you can actually paint it like that.
Yep. See, here's the glue gun stand. And that was created by Kelly Barlow. But I did make one of those out of these wood pieces, and I love this. It really comes in handy with
does.
It's awesome.
It's an awesome little thing.
All right, guys, so you want to do 3 of these walls, 2 for the outside, 1 for the inside. And then you're going to need the rest of them. You're going to put 2 together, just 2. And these are going to serve as the walls on the inside to separate the utensils, and then on the outside walls there's going to be walls of 2 as well. So you need, like I said, 3 walls of the 6s, and then the rest of them you're going to put 2 together. So it's going to be just rows of 2. So I'm going to go off camera and do all of this and let them dry for a while, and then when we come back we'll start putting it together. We'll start putting the walls together, and then this creation will come together. Alright guys, welcome back. So we're going to go ahead and build the middle wall. I've decided which one I'm going to use for the inside middle wall. And what you want to do is you want to put this right in that middle strip. Now if you don't have the stripes, it's 8, it'll be the 8th row over is right in the middle where you want to place your center wall. And I'm just kind of looking here to see which way is the best way to put this. Alright, so we're going to place our actually, I was going to flip that one over. There we go, now it's going to sit up better. Alright guys, so now we're going to lay down this center wall. Like I said, I'm going to stand it up right there in the middle. You're probably going to have to hold on to that for a few minutes just to hold it steady. And then also what I like to do is go along here, just make sure that that there's glue in all of the spaces down there, just to make sure that it's going to glue really good for support. So I'm going to go ahead and put that extra glue around the edging there. I have a bit of glue coming out the side there, so I'm going to get that off. Alright, so after you get your center wall in, then you're going to choose which wall you want to do your utensils on. And that's when you're going to take 2 of your smaller walls and you're going to put 1 here and 1 here, which would be, let me turn this way so you can see. You're going to place 1 in the middle of the 2 rows over there. You're going to place 1 there, and 2 rows over here. I'm going to place 1 here, so that's going to put, it's going to make that little dividers there. That way you'll have forks, knives, spoons, or, you know, whichever order you want them in. But that's going to make your dividers there. So you want to put these 2 walls here. I'm going to go ahead and do that so that it can all dry together. Alright, so let's see which side I want up. good like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glue down the side and of course the bottom. And put that on that second row right there. Hold on to that for a minute. And I'm going to go ahead and reinforce that bottom there with extra glue. I'm going to turn this way for a second. Reinforce this side. And I'm also going to go down the edge there gently to make sure that there's glue along the wall holding it up. Looks good. So you're just going to be, gently hold on to this for a few minutes just to make sure it's going to stay in place. And then I'm going to go ahead and put up the second wall. Or divider, I guess. This is really dividing walls for the silverware. So again, I'm going to go along that side and bottom. I'm going to hold this in place for a moment while I reinforce the bottom here and go along the edging and the back. Now this, not so much worried about like extra glue, because this is on the inside, and if you're concerned about that, of course you can always go in there and clean it up if you'd like. But I don't, I'm just going to hold this in place for a few minutes. Make sure it's adhering. I just want to hold that in place for a few moments. I'm going to turn this around here so that you can see. It's like that, and I just want to hold this in place for a few minutes. So once you get these, the dividers up in that middle wall, you're going to want to hold on to these for a few minutes or prop something up against them to make sure they stay up while they dry. I like to just hold a little bit of pressure on them for a few minutes just to make sure that they're holding where they should be. And just make sure everything's gluing well and is lined up. And we're going to leave this like this and let this dry for a few hours. Like I said, you really want to take your time with this and make sure that your layers are drying, because if you move on too quickly and put it together, then you're liable to knock a piece down or something like that. So what we're going to do next, when we come back after this dries, we're going to come in and put the side walls here and the side walls here, which is going to be more of these two pieces. So you're going to be putting a side wall here, a side wall here, And then you're going to come back here and put a sidewall and a sidewall here. And then after those are all dried and everything is good and glued, no, I got glue on the edges of those. Then we will put up the final walls, which is going to be, you know, here and here. And then we can go in and decorate once everything is good and dry. So I'm going to leave you here for now. Let's let this dry for a few hours and we'll be back to put the rest of the walls up. Okay guys, welcome back. So it's been a few hours since we put these walls up. So let's go ahead and start putting the other walls up. So it's pretty well and dry. There's still some wet glue, a little bit of wet glue here and there, and that's okay because it's mostly dry and it's very sturdy at this point. So we're going to go ahead and start putting up the other walls. So now, like I said, what we're going to do is go through here and put in these end walls. I'm going to go ahead and get these up. Let's see. This one seems like it's going to fit right here pretty good. So how's everybody doing? This is my first DIY video, and I'm hoping that I'm recording in a way that you guys are able to keep up and understand exactly what I'm doing. So I'll be, you know, leave me a comment if you'd like. Let me know what I can do differently or what I can do to make things a little more understandable. I am trying to get this pretty well explanatory for you guys. What are you guys making yours for? Are you making it for parties? Are you making it for a wedding? Are you making one just to keep in your kitchen? So let me know what you guys are going to do with yours. Like I said, I've got mine in my kitchen because we use paper plates and stuff all the time. I've also got a couple I'm making for gifts, so that's why I am constructing. I've already got an extra one, and this is the second one that I'm putting together after my own. So this is the third one that I'm constructing. I'm putting up these back two walls because I'm going to hang on to these for a minute and make sure that I reinforce around the bottoms and the edges like I've been doing. I like to pay a little more attention to the outside, of course, because it's the part you're going to see, so you definitely want to pay attention that you don't have, you know, big globs of glue or, you know, something like that just wouldn't look so good when it dries. The glue for the most part does dry clear, but I have noticed that if there are, you know, like a big glop of glue, it does not dry all the way clear. So you just want to be careful of that on these outside walls. I'm going to hold these together for just a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to turn it around, do the other side, and then we'll be able to put up the walls, the outside walls. And then after that, we'll be decorating. And of course, you don't have to decorate yours like I've done mine. It's just a suggestion. You all obviously can paint it, decorate it, put whatever decorations you'd like on it, or just leave it plain. That's an option as well. So, sorry about that, guys. Missy, Missy, there's nothing. Sorry about that, guys. The fur baby is seeing something out the window she's barking at. All right, so I'm gonna turn this around and then I'm gonna let you guys see what we've got so far. And I am going to get this side up. And like I've said before, I just kind of like to turn it and see which way it kind of connects with where I'm placing it. Because you're going to see that, some, like I said, this wood is uneven, so you're going to see some that's shorter than others and it just connects a little funny. But if you turn it a certain way, or if you check another piece, then you know it may fit perfectly. So that's what I do, is just kind of play with it, see how it's going to fit, and go from there. I just want to make sure that I'm reinforcing these sides, getting the glue in there really well. And then I'm going through and wiping off any gloopy excess because, you know, I don't want that on the outside. The inside I'm not too concerned with having little gloops because you're not going to see those anyway. But I want the outside to look as clean as possible. And most people like to do the Dollar Tree DIYs and make them, you know, pretty cheap. This isn't that even, you know, it's, you're getting 10 of the boxes of wood and the little accessories, and I would say it costs maybe $12 to make, but it's really, I think it's really a good piece. I've got a couple of my friends that would like one, and that's why I'm constructing. This is the third one, and I've got one more to make. So, you know, it's a really nice piece to have if you're, you know, if you're having any barbecues this summer, or wedding, or anything like that, and you want something cute to display your plates and stuff in. You know, because some of this stuff can be expensive if you know, if you wanted a wood version from like home goods stores or, you know, places like that. It can get a little bit expensive, so I just thought this was a neat little project, neat DIY, and something to enjoy. Alright, so I've got more of these little side walls. Sorry if the camera shakes a little bit, guys. When I'm getting low on glue, I have to shake it down a little bit to get it to come out. I'm sorry. Now what I like to do is, like I showed on the one that's already completed, is I like to take that nautical rope and go all the way around the top and all the way around the bottom. I just think it really gives some good character. I really like the country farmhouse type style, and I think that this really goes along with that. If you're into the country farmhouse type style, you know, this just really complements it, I believe. also hope that this sparks some creativity for some of you guys, and you can think of, you know, other things that along these lines that you can utilize in your kitchens, or, you know, things like that. Because I love watching these DIYs. I've really had such a good time coming up with this and doing some of the DIYs that I've seen that these other YouTubers are doing for the Dollar Tree DIYs. To me, it's fun. I'm creative. I like to do these things. It just, I really enjoy it. So, I'm just going to go through here and kind of reinforce that wall there. Make sure I get that pretty well in place. Okay, so now it's time for the big walls. So I'm going to turn this around here, and I'm going to start setting up the big wall. You know, you can always speed up the video if you feel like this is taking too long, but I just kind of wanted to stay with you guys while we get it constructed, and then we will get into the decorating part, which is the fun part. Just like to hang on to these for a minute just to make sure they're okay. All right, let's start putting up the final walls. I like this part because, you know, we're getting close to completing the project, and it's just fun. It's fun to see your project come together and then decorate it, and I'm sure you guys know exactly what I mean by that. All right, so to put up this front wall here, I'm going to go along each of these little walls and put a strip of glue. And then I'm going to go along the bottom and the front here and put a good strip right there. I'm going to show you guys what I'm doing here. So, oops, that's not good. Let me put that back on. So what I've done here is I'm just doing the glue down the sides of the walls here and on the front so that we can connect this front wall. You do have to kind of be careful, like, you know, like you just seen, that can kind of fall down on you. Okay, so I'm going to put this front wall on. And then I'm just going to hold it here for a few minutes. Good, it's looking good. I'm just kind of holding this, giving a little bit of pressure here so that this wall holds up and, you know, it's sticking to these side walls. Then I'm going to turn it around here and do the other wall, and then we're going to let all this dry completely and come back and decorate. Just trying to make sure that this is all staying together the way it should. All right. This front wall is doing really good, guys. Just trying to hold it there for a minute. You definitely want to, you know, like I said, just kind of, I'm holding right here to this wall that was dry earlier, and I'm just kind of giving it a little pressure here to make sure that it's adhering, you know, all the walls are adhering good together. For just a minute, and then I'm going to get this wall on. There, guys, we're almost done. We got one more wall to put on. said, leave me a comment. Let me know what you are going to do with yours. What are you going to do with your caddy once you build it? Because you could always do themes with these if you're going to do a birthday party or an anniversary party or anything like that. I mean, you could always do some kind of theme and decorate this however you'd like. That's a good thing about, you know, creating your own things and being proud of them. Final wall up, guys. I'm going to give it some pressure. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure to hold it together for a few minutes. And you want to do that, and then you want to go around, reinforce, make sure there's no holes or gaps that might need a little bit more glue. And then let it set up for a few hours. And then we'll be back to decorate. So I'm going to leave you guys here until everything's dry, and then we'll come back and decorate. Okay guys, thanks for sticking around. We are at the last part, which is decorating. So if you've stuck around this long, your caddy is dry and it's ready to decorate. Hope you've got your glue gun out and ready. Like I said, I've got my little glue gun stand here that I made from these blocks as well. So the first thing we're going to do is the nautical rope. We're going to go around the bottom edging and the top edging. I'm going to start on the back and start right there in the middle with this rope. So if you can see here, I'm sure that you can already tell, you've got an edging going around the front and the back, but not around the sides, but you're just going to carry on that on around. I'm going to go down here at the bottom edge and just go around with this rope. Another glue stick. Don't you just love this glue gun holder? I just think it's so awesome. But like I said, if you want instructions on that, that one is not mine. That one is Kelly Barlow Creations on YouTube. I just followed her directions. She's got a really pretty one that she done in, I believe hers was brown. And I painted mine pink.
With white because it was too pink.
And on this rope, you just want to make sure that you are getting a good bit of that hot glue going around. And then I'm just going through and mashing it down with the glue, making sure that it's setting. I'm going on around. So I'm on the front here. Go along the edge.
says here.
All right, we're coming around to the back. Get the scissors ready. Look, we've still got a little bit right here to go. I don't like cutting mine off until I get pretty close because I want to meet it. Try to make the rope meet together to where it doesn't look like there's a ending there. Stuff's kind of thick and a little bit hard to cut through, but and then on the ends here, I just like to put a little glue. Just kind of mash them together. All right, so like I said, that's the back anyway. Right there is where your rope's going to end and begin. You've got the first layer there. Now I'm going to start on the back again, up here on the top row of the wood, right on the top row. And while I'm doing this, I just go along the rope and just smash it down with the glue just to make sure it's sticking really good. Oh, need more glue.
Running out of glue.
This takes a lot of glue, a lot of hot glue.
A lot of glue.
Alright, so we're going to go on around here. Keep on going. Then the next thing we're going to put on is the ribbon, and then I'm going to show you how I make those little bows with the jute string. Well, it's a flower, I guess, not a bow.
If you can't tell, she's a little bit excited to upload this to YouTube for the first time. I can tell by her voice. I can tell by your voice.
Yeah, I am excited to bring this project to you guys. This is my first video upload to YouTube.
Well,
So I sure would appreciate some thumbs up and some subscribers.
well, we did 31 videos back then.
Be sure to like and subscribe. There's going to be plenty more DIYs that'll come up. I'd like to hear from you too. Comment, let me know if there's something that you'd like to see me do. Like to see me come up with a creation for. Is there an idea that you'd like to see come out?
Because we'll reply to your comments.
Okay, we're coming back around to the back. I'm going to snip off the rope again. On the end here, I like to put a little bit and just kind of mash this rope together. Just be careful, don't burn yourselves if you're going to do that. fingers. All right, so now that we've got the top row done, that's how it's looking so far. And you can always just leave it like this. It's yours. You're gonna, decorate it however you'd like. And I'm gonna keep going with the ribbon. I've got this burlap ribbon from the Dollar Tree, of course. And I'm just gonna cut this end here to make it even. Fold down that just a little bit there. And this I'm going to start in the front. And the reason is because you're not going to see it anyway behind the flower. So I'm going to start this right in the middle on the front. In the front right there in the middle. So let's start right there. I'm going to put some blue right here. And I'm going to center that right there and hold that there for a second, let it dry. Okay, so now that I've got it attached, what I like to do is kind of go in. I'm going to put a little strip of glue right here. Just want to show you guys, kind of like that.
Starting to run out of another glue stick.
Yeah, it takes a lot of glue to decorate them. And I'm just going to kind of push that down. You got to be careful not to burn yourself with that glue. Then I'm going to go around. I'm going to put another strip right here at the corner and go around. So I'm going to put another little strip right there to go around the corner. And since this ribbon has wire in it, I like to kind of crimp it there at the edge. And we're just going to keep doing that until we go all the way around. Yeah, another glue stick. I'm going to do one.
This might take all your glue sticks.
Yeah, that takes a few. I need to stock back up on glue sticks. Sweep them in. Okay, got 2 more strips there. Coming up to the corner again. So I'm going to pinch that down, like I said, since it's got that wire. Pinch down that edge and keep going around. Put a quarter of the way and in the middle. Okay, and then quarter of the way again, and on the edge. Just to make sure that this ribbon stays good and in place. This doesn't take long to decorate though. Just depends on how you want to decorate it. Back here at another edge. Have you guys been using these tumbling tower blocks to create things? If so, let me know what you've been creating with them.
We would love to.
A lot of the stores close to us, I've actually went in and bought the last boxes of the tumbling tower games.
We have a whole box full of tumbling tower games. We bought a whole box, and we have a box to keep them in now.
Yeah. And a whole case of them at the last one. Okay, so I've cut that off, and now that we've come around to the end, we're going to fold down the edge again to where it meets there in the middle, nice and securely. And then put a strip there and here to finish it up.
Big string of glue.
Yeah, hot glue webs everywhere. Okay guys, so now we've got that part done, the ribbon's on. Look at that, it's looking really good. Here, got that part going. Alright, so now what's left is to make the little jute flower and to decorate it with a little button. Of course, that's what I like to do. So let me get out that jute. Alright, so what I've done here is I have cut me 3 little strings because we're going to make 3 little gatherings. And this I learned on Kelly Barlow's channel. This is the way that she makes these little flowers. So you just want to start by taking the jute string and wrapping it around your fingers a few times. Cut that off, pinch it in the center, and then tie it with one of these little strings you cut off. This just makes such a cute little decoration. Like I said, I think it's the farmhouse style type decorations, and I love that. Okay, I'm going to cut these extra strings off. We're going to do this 3 times so that you've got 3 little bunches like this. So this is what you're left with. You're going to need 3 of these. We're almost there, guys. Thank you so much for hanging in here with me and watching this video.
An hour in so far.
The DIY videos can get a little long. But this project is a big project and it takes a lot of time to complete it, so sorry for the long video. And it is quite long. And again, we're just going to wrap this around fingers a few times. Cut that off. Get that out of my way. Pinch it in the center here. And tie it. This is going to make that little flower in the center. All these little ends that are sticking out. And you can just fluff these strings out a little bit. Now that you've got 3 little sets, I'll pull it on this one a little too hard. I made it come undone. Just a second. So you just want to kind of fluff these out a little bit. And then what you're going to do is you're going to glue them together off-centered. So you're going to put one this way, and then you're going to put one this way so that it spreads out and makes that little flower. So once again, let me show you. I'll put a glue dot there, and then I'm going to lay one this way. Kind of going sideways there, off center. Then you're going to put another dot of glue and take this one this way. And here's our little jute flower. Alright, be careful not to burn yourselves. Glue gets very hot. So now when that's put together, we're going to put a good glue dot there. And we're going to put that right in the center of our ribbon,
There's glue webs everywhere.
just like that.
Glue webs everywhere.
All right, now that I've got that on there, what I like to do is put a little button to finish it off. I'm gonna let my assistant here pick out which button I should put on this one. What do you think, Matt? Should we put the black and white daisy, the brown button, the light brown button, or the one that has a flower and a butterfly?
This one.
The black and white daisy? That'd be pretty. Now on these, I find that I have to cut off the back so that it will stick to that little jute flower. So I'm gonna I cut that little sewing back off and put my little glue dab. Yeah, that looks cute. Right in the center of that flower. Just like that, guys. We're done decorating, but I'm gonna do one more thing that I've been putting on mine. I just think it's a good little addition to it so that when you've got it sitting on your counter, it's not gonna scratch anything up or whatever surface you're using. What I've been putting on mine is these little felt pads, furniture pads. These are 1 inch. They're self-adhesive. I got these at Hobby Lobby. I got them on clearance for 99 cents. So I've been putting these on the backs. And it's just little felt pads to keep it from scratching any surface that you might want to put it on. So I'm just going to put this upside down for a second. And I'm going to put one on in each little corner. And these are self-adhesive, so it's nice. Just put these on here evenly around the 4 corners. And last one right there. And then clean up all your little hot glue webs and all of that, and your project is complete. What do you think, guys? Give us a big thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe. There's going to be more DIYs coming your way. And there you have it, your paper plate and silverware caddy. Thanks for watching.
Plates go in here, and the silverware goes in there.